Right. It's just like he's just standing there and he's confused. Looks like he's about to Hulk out again, and he gets knocked out. Then we get the dark scene. They're back on the ship. They're on, I think, the Quinjet.
Yeah, and you start to hear about the collateral damage, which I really want to see that scene again or actually hear it. So I want to hear if they say if people were killed or not.
I do remember them saying that the conversation started out with Maria Hill saying that they're not going to press charges on Banner yet, but it's a possibility that they'll arrest him for what he did.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can just see the look on all of their faces.
Oh, they're put through the ringer. No one's looking at each other. It's just, they just went through hell.
It was, it was so well done. They're just sitting there. They're all in despair. They knew what they all went through.
And the only person who got his cool together is Hawkeye, because he was the only one that didn't have the whammy put on him, which leads to what I love best about this film is how they just go from such a intense scene to one of the most down-home scenes you can have in an Avengers film. You get to find out about Hawkeye's safe house. And it's not just a typical safe house. Well, the running joke in the beginning of the film is Hawkeye's always saying he doesn't have a girlfriend.
Right. Well, at first, when they're repairing him, because he did get injured in the first fight. We never touched on that.
Yeah.
They
Which
used
is actually pretty important to the plot in the film, actually.
It is, actually. I can't believe we passed this up. He did get hurt. Yeah. And the one woman who, I can't remember her name.
Oh, Cho.
Cho? Okay. Yeah. She puts him in a machine with kind of like machine, like...
It creates synthetic flesh.
Yeah, something like that. And the joke is, she's standing there and she says something about your girlfriend, and Hawkeye's like, well, I don't got a girlfriend.
Right. It's like, well, they're saying, like, oh, don't worry about it. You won't be able to feel the difference. And she's like, your girlfriend will never be able to feel the difference. And he's like, I don't have a girlfriend.
But there's a scene later on when he's on the phone. I think it's during the party or something.
Right,
and he's
exactly.
Like, who are you talking to? He's like, my girlfriend.
Right. And they're just like... So it kind of makes you wonder.
It makes you think that at first he's just telling a joke. Okay.
Right. Well, it makes you wonder who's he talking to as well, because you're like, you just said you didn't have a girlfriend a couple hours earlier.
One thing that's, again, this is just a running gag throughout the movie. It has nothing to do with the plot. Tony Stark at the beginning of the movie, what did he say? Watch your ass or something?
Well, no, it's like they're going at the fortress, and he goes flying into it, and he comes repelling off of it because there's a force field around, and he goes, fuck!
No, he doesn't say fuck. He doesn't say the F word. It's like shit or something. And then Cap, language.
Yeah.
And then they play out the fight, and then he goes, nobody's going to touch on the fact that Cap said language?
Yeah.
And then throughout the whole entire movie, whenever anybody swears around Cap, they're like, watch your mouth.
Yeah.
And it's not important to the plot, but it's just a funny, it runs throughout the whole entire movie.
Yeah.
Even... Well, a specific character that we'll get into because we haven't mentioned him.
And actually, we're probably going to be doing this in 2 parts because this movie has a lot to touch on, and we're about at the halfway point of the movie.
We're probably a little past the halfway point.
Are we a little bit past it?
When we get to the safe house, it's just a little bit past the halfway point. I think we can wrap it up in about 15 minutes here.
Okay, you want to do it in 15?
I think we can do it in 15 minutes. We've got another 15.
Let's try it.
So, we're at the safe house.
Yep.
We meet.
Turns out Hawkeye doesn't have a girlfriend. He's got a wife.
And kids.
And
nobody knew about it.
Yeah, and Black Widow knew about it.
Well, because she did, one of the little girl ran up to her.
Yeah.
So, and we did touch on, in the previous movie, they did touch on the fact that they have a history together.
Right. Because it's like she's always talking about, like, Barton as her best friend. So it's like, okay, in this one, you really kind of get a better idea of it because you see him at home, and he becomes Mr. Dad. He's just down at home. He puts on a flannel shirt.
Now, the woman who plays his wife, wasn't she a comedian? Or she's in comedic movies?
I can't remember.
I mean, even though she's in a short part of the movie, she plays a very important part for him.
Yeah.
But I think she's a comedian. I don't remember her name. She looks familiar. She looks like she does comedy.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but you really get to see some of the ramifications of what the mind job Scarlet Witch did on these guys, because
They're still
Thor takes off because
Thor takes off. He's like, I gotta see somebody.
Huge part with him coming up. It's like he has to figure out what his vision meant.
Cap and there's a scene where Cap and Tony Stark are cutting up
wood. Which, if you guys saw like a sneak preview when they were doing the preview for Hulk or for all the Avengers films, the scene that coming up with them chopping wood was a scene that they had showed, which people thought was going to be part of Civil War. Actually, is a key part of this film where they're trying to decide what they're going to do, and you really see the fact that you see the friendship between them, but you see that tension. Because
this part here also leads to another important part. But they're chopping up the wood and everything, and everybody's just they're still getting over their visions and what's been going on. Then Hawkeye's wife goes, "Hey, the tractor's busted," and Hawkeye thought that it would be okay to ask you to fix the tractor.
Yeah,
goes into the fix the tractor. Was a ploy. Who's in the barn?
Take a hand on who's in the barn. Never mind. It's
Nick Fury.
Nick Fury's in the barn, which I guess they had to figure a way to get him in some way somehow. So that's the best way you could do it. It wasn't bad, but I was like, so you found another eye patch, huh? Because you left the other one in the locker, burned that up, walking around like a bum. Now he's looking like Shaft, but he comes in with the right amount of information they need at the right amount of time.
What is this like? No, this wouldn't be considered Deus Ex Machina, because Deus Ex Machina is when it's kind of like God's hand or whatever. This isn't, but it's just like, now I've got the information that you need, and I just so happen to be here.
Right. It's like when everything is at its worst, I'm going to give you the information and send you back out to find out how to not even clear your name, just stop Ultron, because they're not even trying to clear their names. So
then we're going to speed this up a little bit. Two parts happen at the same, kind of simultaneously while this is going on. Let's talk about Thor finds for the professor, the doctor guy.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he's been in
he was in Thor. He was in Avengers.
Yeah,
he's
the professor.
The professor that was working with them.
Yeah,
and he takes Thor to this water.
Yeah, it's like and they just really quickly talk about I guess there's this well that if Thor goes into it, he'll be able to recall his vision. I don't really know what's going on because I have to watch that a couple of times. But
he goes in there.
Yeah, he sees his vision, gets back in there,
and he sees. What does he see? He gets the Infinity Gems, 4 of them. Yeah. They only show 4, but you kind of get an outline of the gauntlet as well. So right
where they're supposed to be at is it looks like a fist.
We know what's coming. This is all foreshadowing. We know what.
Yes, Thanos is coming.
Now, so he's in the vision at the same time. What is Ultron doing?
Oh, Ultron's getting ready to take over everything.
But what specifically is he? What is he doing with the vibranium?
Well, he actually decided to kidnap. I keep forgetting her first name, but Cho, the lady who was helping Hawkeye earlier, healed himself up. So he decided, well, how come these humans haven't decided to actually do something with this vibranium? So he actually uses her to take the vibranium and her
device to form the vibranium with tissue to create
the ultimate.
He wanted to Ultron's vision,
right?
And he's gonna upload his mind into it, whatever. Because that's what he was trying to do.
Yes, his body. Several times over, he keeps trying to upload himself into.
He keeps, and there's parts where we haven't gotten to this part yet, but we're going to try to speed this up now. Because we're getting close.
Yeah, it's almost over.
It's almost over.
Now we're into the main.
So there's another action scene that comes up because while he's trying to do this, the Avengers find out where he's at, and he's trying to take the vision away, and we get a big battle on the highway in the truck.
With Captain America, basically very Matrix-like.
Before this happens, while he's uploading his mind into the vision, Wanda gets a view of what's going on, and she realizes he's not looking to destroy the Avengers. He's looking to destroy everything.
Yeah.
And she's like, wait, we're on the wrong side here. This is the turning point for Wanda and Pietro.
Yeah. Because again, they don't at this point, she can read his mind. and it's just a great lead into it. So now we're trying to basically get everyone to catch up with Ultron to stop him from uploading his consciousness because they finally realize what
his main plan is. They know what his
of his main plans. They know what his
because there's another twist coming up in a bit, but yeah, he's trying to leave with the body,
right?
Because he's trying to upload his mind. They stop him. Mm-hmm. They get a hold of the body finally, but they lose Natasha during this.
Yeah, and then they have the big argument again about.
Well, we found out Jarvis wasn't destroyed.
Right.
At this point, again, executive decision. Stark is like, before the rest of the Avengers find out what we're going to do, we need to upload Jarvis into the vision.
Yeah, once again, deciding without the Avengers say so, I'm going to create yet another AI.
So we get an argument. Now they're fighting it out. Yeah, the Avengers are fighting amongst themselves.
You see the Avengers fighting.
Amongst them. They're trying to stop Tony Stark from uploading the Jarvis into the vision. But Thor shows up.
Well, actually, before he shows up, right prior to that, they're fighting each other, so no one can stop the power. All of a sudden, you see this whirlwind pop up, and all the power goes off. Quicksilver unplugs everything, so he's just like, okay, now end of battle. So at this point, they're like, okay, there's nothing we can do because there's no power. Out of nowhere, here comes Thor, and he lands on top of the case, raises his his hammer to the skies, draws down the lightning, and brings it down on top of the case. And brings to life a vision. Yeah.
You know what? The way they did that, too, was kind of, beautiful because you think that he's going to attack everybody because he, pushes Thor out of the way.
Well, I mean, even the way he jumps out the coffin, he lands like he's about to pounce on him.
Then he looks out the window.
Yeah.
And he's just standing there. Thor's like,
but if you notice that even his appearance is changing. Because at first he's all red when he pops out. Then he's slowly turning
Now what we didn't touch on, which is very important, Ultron takes the scepter and takes the Infinity Gem of Mind.
Yes.
And uses it as the gem right in the middle.
Yeah, that's the main power source.
That's the main power source for Vision is the Infinity Gem of Mind.
Yeah.
And this is where they actually, I think the first time they actually name one of the Infinity Gems.
True. Yeah, I completely forgot on that. And that's actually really important too. But it's
we know of the three. There's the Tesseract. There was the Dark Aether, was it called in the...
the purple thing.
And then the purple, I don't even know if they gave it a name, but it was from the Guardians of the Galaxy, the purple one. So, we get a fourth one, and they actually call it Mind. They use it they put it right in the head, and that's what we get Vision's power from. And he's got a speech or whatever.
Right. It's like Thor comes up to him and, wants to start talking to him, and it's I don't want to butcher what he says, but it's kind of like you're watching almost like a Shakespearean type thing going on.
He's got the voice of Jarvis.
Yeah,
and in the end, he's basically saying this is one thing that I know he says. He goes, "Look, I don't want to destroy Ultron. Ultron is unique,
right?
But I do know what Ultron wants." And if destroying Ultron prevents Ultron from destroying the world, I will join you.
Yeah, they're asking what his motivation is or what his purpose is.
Now, I don't know if we touched on the fact that earlier in the movie when Ultron shows up, they're trying to pick up Thor's hammer.
Right.
Vision picks it up like it's nothing.
It's before all that, it's you see Vision's appearance changes as he's looking at Thor.
He gets a cape.
Well, it's you see a costume begin to form, and as he's looking at him, he sees his cape, so a cape starts to form on him. So he creates his own costume, but it's they're asking him, how do we know we can trust you? And the key goes back to that party where it's only the most noble person can pick this hammer up. And as he's trying to basically let him know, hey, I'm here to help. I'm not here to destroy the world. I don't even want to destroy Ultron. I just know that is what is best for the world. But I don't know if you need to, if you're gonna trust me or not. And he just reaches behind him and he grabs Thor's hammer and just picks it up and hands it to him like garbage. And hands it to him. He's like, "But we have work to do."
Everybody's just
frozen.
Even Thor, holy shit, he picked up my hammer.
Yeah, it's nothing. And basically at this point, what are you gonna do? You gotta trust the dude. So we lead into the finale.
Yeah, we're going to speed it up here. We're going to try to take 5 minutes to explain the finale because there's a lot that happens, but it's
big battle,
but plot twist.
Yeah,
and he mentions this before. When we had the civilization of like the dinosaurs and everything, and there was other civilizations. Yeah. What took them out? A meteor.
Right.
There's no meteors around. What are you going to do? He uses the vibranium to turn a part of the world, lift it from the ground, ascend it to the heavens, and he wants to take this thing, smash it in the ground, destroying it. And what he says is, the only thing left will be metal.
Yeah.
Can't let that happen. Avengers got to save the world, right?
So, I mean...
Tony's devising a plan to save everybody below, because obviously if the meteor hits, everybody's dead.
Right.
He wanted to sacrifice the people on the thing.
Yeah, that was a plan. You know, they were all going to collateral damage.
The only one who was like captain is like, we're not leaving unless everybody's off of this thing.
Right.
He was the only one, but even Natasha was like, hundreds up here versus billions down there. I mean, do the math.
You know, they were thinking like logically.
Logically, even they're like, look, we're not even going to make it out of this.
Right.
What are we going to do? They were going to sacrifice themselves.
Yeah, but I mean, really quickly, a great battle scene comes into it. You kind of see Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch kind of merge.
We get a cameo. It was in the movie before, but we get a cameo during this fight.
Yeah, we get to see for a couple of scenes.
War Machine is fighting it out, not fighting it out, but he's fighting with the Avengers.
Yeah, we get to see a helicarrier pop up, which
we thought were destroyed.
He pulled out a whole bunch of Shield agents out of the mothballs, and these guys literally look like they just came out of the office building, so they don't even know really what they're doing anymore. So that was great.
They get the helicarrier, and again, we know that from the previous one, Hydra tried to create 3 helicarriers.
Yeah.
But this is the old school one, not using Tony Stark's propulsion. He's using the regular turbines.
You know, basically, just to really quickly get to it, I mean, they have to stop the device that's doing all this.
Now, here's the thing. I do want to touch on this because I hated this personally. You got War Machine, man. Why couldn't you put Vulcan in there?
I'm pretty sure he got edited out.
You think that he was in there?
It looked like that scene had to have been edited down because that's a huge. I mean, that fight scene is 45 minutes long.
It's a pretty long fight scene. We're not going to go blow for blow on it because I think we've pretty much done the rest of the movie blow for blow.
Like I said, we
need to save something for people to watch. Yeah. And again, if you have, I mean, we're getting a little too late now that we're like 50 minutes into this, but. If you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alerts. This is for people who have seen the movie, and this is if you've seen it, which we're assuming a lot of people have seen this.
Originally they were going to say someone was going to die in these films, and a lot of people were like, "Okay, who is the characters that were the least liked in the first movie?" So Hawkeye was the first name out there. He's going to die. He's going to fight it.
We thought so,
and
Ultron because. Ultron takes over the Quinjet.
I thought maybe they might do something to Tony Stark where they don't kill him, but they take him out of the picture.
Stark even mentioned because he had a plan. We're gonna heat up the vibranium. Thor's gonna strike it at the right time, and it's just gonna shatter.
Because they were like,
we're probably gonna lose my. He was even saying, "I'm probably gonna die." Thor,
and the thing is, this is before Civil War, so they were like, "Oh, what?"
We're on the assumption somebody's gonna die.
Right.
Now, what I mentioned was in Civil War, Aaron Johnson is reprising his role. I just looked it up. Aaron Johnson's reprising his role as Quicksilver.
Right.
We're mentioning somebody dying. We think it's gonna be Hawkeye. Ultron is shooting at him with the Quinjet. Who saves his life?
Quicksilver saves his life.
Quicksilver takes the bullets.
A lot of bullets.
And, I mean, he's dead.
Dude, his eyes are open. He's not moving. He's like...
He's dead.
They put him on the thing. His eyes are still open. He's still in a fetal position of, I just got my ass shot. He's dead.
We lose Quicksilver in the last fight. But again, I'm telling you, I looked it up yesterday.
Anything's possible.
He's reprising his role.
It could be one of the other gems, like I don't know if they brought back the Soul Gem or whatever it is. They could bring them back. Who knows?
So this is it. After that,
best part of the movie.
Did you talk about the conversation between Vision and Ultron?
Second best part of the movie. Fine. forgot about that part because that is pretty cool. Because
So,
he has the
we
greatest
have to
line.
come up. We're gonna wrap it up in the next 2 minutes here. But
actually, yours comes first. Your scene comes first. So.
Well, there was one funny scene because we have to get this out of the way here. Ultron is in the plane, and I think at this point, Wanda has already ripped out the unit in his chest.
Right.
He's in the plane, and I love it when Hulk gets in there. He goes, "Oh, for God's sakes!" And Hulk just interrupts him all.
And it's like at this point, it's like to really give you a quick wrap up. The Hulk and Black Widow are thinking about running off on away from the team and going off on their own. And
Hulk gets in the Quinjet.
Yep.
She's trying to convince him to come back so that she could
sent up Captain America at the end of First Avenger.
Where she's trying to get him to, hey, come back home.
Right.
I'm going to give you the lullaby. He turns the thing off.
Yeah.
That's it. We don't know what happens to him.
Yeah, we just see him sit down and the plane just flies away.
We don't know what happens to him.
No idea.
At this point, there's no more Hulk in the movie.
Yep.
Finally, after all of this destruction, Ultron pops out of the rubble. Vision is right in front of him. They have a conversation where he goes, humans think that chaos and peace are two separate things, but there's a bit of a conversation, and it's a deep conversation.
Yeah, it's very philosophical.
And right at the end where Ultron goes, "Well, Vision, you're naive," and he's got the one-liner there. Well, I was born yesterday.
And just the way he delivers it, he's just so sarcastic, but so naive. So beautifully said.
I was born yesterday. Takes out Ultron.
Yeah.
Now, where are you getting to? Best part?
What I was hoping to see in this film was how they were going to lead into the rest of the films, which they were always talking about the rest of the Avengers are going to break up. They're going to go in their separate ways, which in a way they do, but for pure comic book fans, they create a facility called New Avengers Facility, which is a name of a comic book.
The New Avengers.
Yes. And you see that Thor and Iron Man are kind of going off on their own. Thor
goes back to Asgard. I'm assuming it's Asgard.
Right. He's going to deal with Ragnarok. And then
He's going into Bifrost.
Right. Tony Stark is going to go and do Tony Stark things. They don't really get too specific.
Then there's the conversation between Natasha Romanoff and Captain America, where she's trying to say, "Oh, we didn't touch on something important." There was a conversation between Hulk or Banner and Natasha Romanoff when he was like, "Hey, I know you want the family, and I know you want this, and I know this is what you're looking for. I'm a monster." She reveals that whoever she got her training, she's sterile. She can't have kids.
Yeah.
And then they're capping her in a conversation, basically like, I'm home. Because he's going to train the New Avengers.
Right, which again leads to my favorite scene, which we get to see who the New Avengers are. Which is, you get to see War Machine, so we still have an Iron Man. You get to see Falcon. You get to see Vision. And you get to see Scarlet Witch. Which is weird because the scene with Scarlet Witch was not supposed to be Scarlet Witch. She is supposed to be an Avenger. But that scene was supposed to be of Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. She was supposed to be in that big scene in the aerial fight where you see War Machine, which is making me wonder how much stuff got cut out because she was a big part of that. So I think Falcon and Captain Marvel got cut, but that's how the movie ends, baby.
So, well, here's how the movie actually ends. They all show up, and you think you're about to hear the patented tagline, the patented phrase coming out of Captain America's mouth, standing there. Avengers?
Well, that's not going to...
Credits.
They're not going to say that until probably Avengers Infinity War, probably part 2. Because like I said, they're going to bring... the key thing is they're supposed to bring everybody into it. The Defenders, the Avengers. I don't know if monetarily they'll be able to do it, but that's the goal, so...
But there we are. That's it. The Avengers in all of its
it.
glory.
That's not even. I mean, that's a long.
I'm assuming that the people who are sitting through here and actually watching
see it more than once.
Have seen it.
You gotta see it more than once. There's so many Easter eggs in there.
I'm sure we missed a lot of stuff.
Oh, there's so many topics that we didn't even get a chance to hit on yet.
But
I'm sure we'll make.
We've got to wrap this up, man. We got to go. We got to wrap it up, man. It's already been an hour. Thank you for sitting with us for an hour. And you know that if you've sat with us, man, you a comic book fan. You love this movie. So, you don't love this movie.
Yeah, hit us back. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know if we got any info wrong on that. Let us know if you read any of the comics, even though they didn't have really anything to do with the
mind you,
book.
this is the all new the Marvel Now one. I just put it up here because we're talking about Age of Ultron. This nothing to do with the movie. If you've read this, you know that this. I just put it up here because I wanted something to represent Age of Ultron. This is nothing to do with what the movie is based off.
Yeah. So.
Thank you for watching. Man, an hour, dude.
All right. I'm showing
Thank
you your comic guru.
Omar the Aries. Catch you next time, guys.
Later.
Thank you.